Acts 5:17. The apostles persecuted then the high priest and all his associates who were members of the party of the Sadducees were filled with jealousy, and they arrested the apostles and put them into the public jail. But during the night, an angel of the Lord opened the doors of the jail and brought them out. Acts 8. The church persecuted and scattered. On that day, a great persecution broke out against the church at Jerusalem, and all except the apostles were scattered throughout Judea and Samaria. Godly men buried Stephen and mourned deeply for him. But Saul, which was later to be Paul, began to destroy the church, going from house to house. He dragged off men and women and put them in prison. Acts 5:17. The apostles persecuted. Acts 8. The church was persecuted and scattered. The Israelites were scattered after being persecuted by the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They left Israel and spread out to India, Spain, Rome, and Europe, Germany, and in 1478 through 1834, the Israelites living in Spain and Rome were forced to convert to Catharism by Pope Lucius III, or to leave the country due to the Spanish Inquisition. aka the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith, known as Al-Habra Decree. Al-Habra Decree. Those who left Spain traveled up north to Europe. The lucky ones that traveled to India first eventually made their way to Rome and Europe over time. They were known as gypsies, travelers, Roma gypsies. Europeans thought they had come from Egypt. They described the gypsies as being people of tribes and nations. Then in 1941 through 1945 in Germany, the Nazi systematically murdered over 6 million Jews across Germany and Europe. Over 2/3 of European Jews were killed. Dutch, Netherlands, aka Northern Europe, Amsterdam, just to name a few. In a museum and the house where Jewish diarist Anne Frank hid during World War II, along with her family, but also Van Gogh paintings can be found in the Amsterdam Holland Museum with her notes when she was hiding with her family in a museum. Apparently, it might be the same house that they were hiding in the attic. Anne Frank, she moved with her family to Amsterdam, the Netherlands, in the early 1930s to escape the rising Nazi regime in Germany. She was 4 years old. In her diary, she regularly described her family's everyday struggle hiding in the attic from Hitler and his men. In 1944, she and her younger sister and her mom and her dad perished after being arrested by the Nazis in the Holocaust. The distance between countries: Israel to India, 5 to 8 hours. Flying. 4,541 kilometers, or 2,822 miles. Israel to Spain, 3,608 kilometers by plane, 2,224 miles. Germany to Rome, 1,370.4 kilometers, and 14 hours and 17 minutes in a car to get there. So everybody was pretty close. So this is where everybody was living before the persecutions, and they left. Some went to India, some went to Africa, some went to Spain. They went to Rome and then Germany, and Anne Frank lived in Holland, and eventually everybody left to other countries. Well, in Africa it was due to the slave trade because of being persecuted in all these other areas.